going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing another episode of Meal Prep Monday. And what are we meal prepping today? You might be asking yourself. We are going to be making some regular burritos. It's not going to be anything too exciting. We're going to go ahead and let future editing Blake take over with the budget breakdown.
Alrighty, so here goes nothing with this little budget breakdown. I will go ahead and say this one's going to be a doozy because I got a lot of ingredients here, but I try to break it down in a way that I think makes sense. So starting off, these are all things that are going to be toppings in the burritos, and these are optional. You do not necessarily need this first group of things that I'm going to list off. So if you don't like one of these ingredients and you don't want to include it, great. Take the price off, you're saving yourself some money. But the first thing I got was mini sweet peppers. These were $3.49 for a big bag, and I did have plenty of peppers left over after making this recipe. Then I got a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. That was $1.49. Then I got a can of corn for $1.59. One can of black beans for $1.39. A little can of diced little black olives, that was $1.99. And then I got this really good avocado cilantro lime sauce, that was $3.69. Alrighty, and then these last 5 ingredients are ingredients that I think are kind of necessary for this recipe. I think that it really does not work if you don't have these 5 ingredients. So the first one, we got 2 pounds of ground beef for $11.39. Then I got an 8-ounce bag of whatever shredded cheese you want. I went with Colby Jack. You can go with Mexican style. Either way works. Then I got 2 cans of refried beans for $1.98. And then I got 2 bags of yellow rice for $2.58. And then last but not least, a 20 count of tortilla shells. I got flour tortilla shells. You can get whatever kind of tortilla shells you prefer, but that was $3.59 for me. Alrighty, and then if you add those all together, I ended up getting $35.47 as the total for that one. And I would say add an additional maybe like $6, give or take, for I add sour cream to mine, I add salsa to mine, and then also you are going to need probably a full stick of butter for the yellow rice. So adding $6 to that makes our total about $42, and I think that this comfortably serves about 10 servings. So it winds up being roughly $4.20 per serving.
Yeah, overall, there might be some ingredients that I missed on that budget breakdown. I'm using a bunch of ingredients that I already have. So like salsa, sour cream, stuff like that might not be on the budget breakdown, and I'm sorry about that. So I also want to apologize. This is probably way more expensive than the last one that I make. But in my opinion, I do think that this one's going to make a lot more servings. So it might be worth it. It might not be worth it. I don't know. We're going to kind of figure it out together. But starting off, first things first, I want to go ahead and prep everything that I need to make for the burritos before I start cooking up the meat and everything. So I got canned goods for the majority of these. For the corn, I'm using canned. For refried beans, I'm using canned. For the black beans, I'm using canned. And what's it called? I'm just doing that to make things a little bit easier on myself. And then on top of that, I got 2 bags of yellow rice that I'm going to be making right now. Alright, so the first step is to boil 4 cups of water. I did not measure it out. I decided to say fuck it, we ball and eyeball it, so that's what I'm doing. And now I'm waiting for those to come to a boil, and then after that, adding these 2 bad boys in, adding in, I think it's like half a stick of butter, or 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and then putting a lid on it and letting it simmer. That is by far the longest process that we're going to have. I'm also going to be dicing up some tomatoes because I forgot to I wanted to get all natural salsa. If you have all natural salsa, or you can get all natural salsa, do that instead because it's going to be great and it's probably going to save you a lot of time. But yeah, I'm going to quickly cut up some tomatoes, and then I'm also going to cut up some peppers. And because I kind of want them to be more like bite-sized pieces in the taco meat, I actually went ahead and got mini little sweet peppers, and I'm very excited about those. So like I said, we're going to let the water boil for the rice for a little bit, and then we are going to go ahead and, meanwhile, chop those up. So, future time-lapse, Blake. Chop, chop. You get chop, because he's going to be, like, he's going to be chopping stuff. That was a good one. That was good. Give me... I'll be fine.
Alrighty, so I did lie a little bit. I'm not actually going to be dicing up tomatoes. I forgot that I got cans of diced tomatoes, so I'm just going to be dicing up these little peppers a little bit, and I'm sorry to anybody who is being pained by the way I cut. I'm not great at cutting things. And then here's me doing the stuff that I needed to do for the rice, because that was ready too.
Alrighty, so now that those things are coming along, they are coming along nicely. I'm actually going to go ahead and get a cast iron pan up on the stove, and we are going to start working on cooking up the veggies, the little peppers. We're gonna start cooking those. And also, since a lot of these things are microwavable and I only have one microwave, I'm also going to start microwaving the refried beans and the sweet corn and stuff like that. So let's dive into that, shall we? Alrighty, so I'm going to use an absolutely massive cast iron pan here so that I could use the same thing for literally everything whenever everything's done. I'm just kind of going to throw it all together. I got a dog hair in my thing. Anyways, so first things first, we're going to put oil down in the pan. Then we're going to take our beautifully, freshly chopped little peppers, throw them down on the bottom of the pan, and we're going to let those cook up for probably about 4 or 5 minutes on, I would say, do like a medium to high heat. If your stovetop has the setting to do like 6, say put it on 6. And then, like I said, we're going to let that cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. Alrighty, so while that is sizzling up, it's been cooking for about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a can of diced tomatoes and green chilies. I kind of forgot that I got this earlier. I said I was going to dice up tomatoes. I have diced tomatoes. So, that being said, we're going to do that, and then in a little bit, I'm going to put on a little bit of lemon juice on here. Not lemon juice, lime juice on here to kind of add in more of like a citrusy flavor, because I've got these sweet, what's it called, peppers here, and I also have a little bit of sweet corn, and then the salsa that I prefer is a sweet pineapple salsa, and I'm worried that I'm going to have too many sweet flavors, so I'm going to try to overtake that with a little bit of spices when I'm cooking up the meat, and then a little bit of citrus here while I'm cooking up the veggies. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go to a little time lapse now, and I will meet up with you guys in a little bit.
Okay, now I went ahead and did exactly what I told you I was going to do. I went ahead and put the sauce in there. I ended up not putting lime juice in there because I remembered this little green sauce that I have on the side here has lime in it. So I did end up doing that, but I did end up seasoning it with ground white pepper, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of garlic powder. And then I just let that cook for like 5 minutes.
Alright, so I went ahead and took that off the stove. It is now going to be time to start cooking up this beef. I'm going to put it at a very, very low heat. And hopefully this beef won't cook almost instantaneously because I still have like 10 or so minutes worth of microwaving different veggies and sides for this. And I'm starting to realize I may or may not have gone overboard. I don't know. My goal is to make 12 burritos, but they're like medium-sized burritos. And I might have way more than enough stuff to do that.
Alrighty, and here's a little time lapse of me making up this beef. So obviously I'm gonna let it cook. This takes about like 7 minutes or whatever because, like I said, I put it on a really low heat. And all the seasonings that you need for good taco meat is a lot of ground cumin, decent amount of chili powder. I like to use chipotle powder as well, and then you do a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder as well. Salt, pepper, simple, basic. And then I went ahead and threw everything into this pan after I did that. So threw in the peppers, threw in some black beans, threw in a whole bag, an 8-ounce bag of Colby Jack cheese, and then I threw in the corn as well.
Alrighty, so I went ahead and took it off the heat, and I know some of you guys are looking at this giant conjumbled mess, and you're probably thinking, Blake, what the hell? This is just going to make it more convenient for me. Now I just need to get a little scoop, put it in the burrito, wrap it up, and then add the additional things, because the way that I'm planning on doing this is I'm planning on doing a layer of the refried beans, a layer of rice, and then just a big scoop of that, roll up the burrito, and then just basically see how much burritos I can make with this mixture. The sauces that I'm going to be using for this, though, I got this right here. It's an avocado cilantro sauce. Absolutely delicious. You can get it from Target for like $3. I'm going to be using sour cream, which is relatively basic. You can get it anywhere. And then, like I said, I'm getting pineapple salsa. The specific pineapple salsa that I'm using, I think, is from Aldi. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, once again, very delicious. But you can also find pineapple salsa pretty much anywhere. So, yeah, I'm going to let those cool down for a little bit so I don't burn the heck out of myself. But that's pretty much everything. We just need to start rolling it up into burritos. Alrighty, so I got everything prepped, and over here I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 burritos at a time because I think the way that I'm going to meal prep these is 2 burritos because they are the little medium shells. And I feel like if you wrap them like a proper burrito, you really can't fit that much in here. So, like I said, 2 burritos. We're going to do them 2 at a time. Going to quickly microwave the tortillas for about 15 seconds. And then we're just kind of going to free ball it. I'm probably going to do a little bit of refried beans on the bottom, a little bit of rice next, and then, like I said, a big scoop of that, and then put all of my sauces and stuff on top. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse this. This should be fun.
Alrighty, now, as I said, I'm going to put the refried beans first, then I'm going to put the rice, all the sauces, and then roll them up into a burrito. And my rolling technique here is not the greatest, but halfway through doing these, I remembered how you're supposed to roll things, and I'm going to show you that method in a second.
Okay, now it's essentially going to be that process I just showed you, but like 6 times or whatever. Not 6 times. Well, yeah, 6 times, because I'm planning on making 12 burritos. But earlier I was really struggling with like wrapping the burrito, and it's because I forgot the trick
that I do with it. So I'm about to show you the trick because it came back to mind after I recorded that time lapse, and I was like, wait a minute, I should show this in case other people have issues wrapping burritos, because I know it can be a really tough thing to do for some people. Like, I know me personally, it's been something I've struggled with for years and years and years. So to help a brother out, after I quickly put on this little scoop of meats and yummy goodness and stuff, I'm gonna quickly show you. I'm gonna put on a little bit more, not a lot more, because these are small wraps after all, which is why I'm doing two. But the way you want to wrap these, for one, you don't want it to be centralized. You want it to be more towards one side. And then instead of wrapping it like in half, like what I was doing, you want to wrap like a triangle, and then start wrapping slowly and put this underneath the meat as much as possible. So that way you're folding it into this big open tortilla shell that's just ready to be like the closing side of an envelope, basically. So then you roll it, and then it should be a-okay. There shouldn't be any holes. I will say this burrito recipe that I did, you might want to drain the meat a little bit more, the beans a little bit more, the corn a little bit more. This is a super wet burrito, so whenever I'm eating these later in the week, I'm probably just going to want to use a fork and knife, because there's no way I'm going to be able to pick these up and eat them like a normal burrito.
Okay, Future Blake here. I want to kind of chime in on that. I said that I was going to have issues eating them like regular burritos. I was absolutely wrong. They actually were perfectly fine throughout the week. And I also wanted to go ahead and tell you guys, if you guys are making this recipe and you want to meal prep them, when I heated these up, I just heated them up for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and they were perfect every single time. So there's just a little tidbit for you guys.
That being said, it's also the way I'm packaging it. If I was putting these in, what's it called? If I was putting these into tinfoil and wrapping them that way, they'd probably be fine. I do not trust that. But yeah, we're doing these like burrito, and then my plan is to put rice and refried beans up top. More than likely, that's going to be way too much food for me to eat at 8 o'clock in the morning, but we'll see. Alrighty, so here we go. Here's one of the final products of me with my little meal prep bowls. I got enough ingredients and made enough to fill 6 of these. I potentially could have probably made 7 if I got more tortillas, but I think that this was a pretty decent little meal prep experiment. I think it's pretty fun. If you had extra cheese, I would totally recommend putting maybe a little bit of cheese on top, so when you microwave them and heat them up later in the week, they get that melty, cheesy goodness. But that being said, that's going to probably be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, Future Editing Blake here. I want to chime in real quick. So I said that this makes about 6 servings, and I said it makes about 12 burritos. I do want to go ahead and say, when I was done, I still had an entire Tupperware container full of the beef and everything that I had in there, that little beef mixture that had the beef, the peppers, the corn, the black beans, everything like that. So I still have this big Tupperware container that could probably make about 4 or 5 burritos worth of, stuff in here. And that's a lot. So this might not be the most cost-effective recipe to use. So I also wanted to give you guys another pointer, potentially, if you were making this. Something you could do to make it better than I did, maybe just make burrito bowls, because I also have a bunch of leftover rice that I'm trying to figure out what to do with. And if you made burrito bowls, you could do a layer of rice, then you can do the filling and everything on top. And yeah, you probably wouldn't end up with as much excess stuff that I currently have. But yeah, I still think that this is great, and I'm very excited about them. But I am going to leave this video here. So here's another outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow, bow, bow.